Good morning, Miss.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, nice. All right.
Good
So hello to
evening,
all
Miss
of my bright students joining us today. Good evening, Melissa. How are you?
Mike.
Answer Kadira.
Fine, Miss.
Tell her yeah.
All right.
Me is not Melissa. It's just my name. Her name is Kadira
All right.
Black.
So good evening to all my bright students joining this evening. Hold on, someone was saying something. Sorry. If I accidentally muted you, sorry. Just unmute and go with what you were saying. Sorry.
Miss, I was saying it is not Melissa, it's Kadira.
Oh, Kadira. Okay.
Yes, that's Omisi and Javilia's smaller sister.
Okay, Kadira. All right. Good evening to
Miss.
you, Kadira.
So good evening, Miss.
Good evening, Miss.
All right. So good evening to all my bright students. All right, joining today. And we are live on YouTube, so you can go again and watch this session after at Mathematics Resource Center on YouTube. And you can also share with other students so that they can benefit from this session. All right, so today we're looking at ability tests. Last week we looked at performance tasks, mathematics performance tasks, and today we're looking at ability tests. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. So I have my first question, and I'm going to ask one of my students. Anyone can read my first question, the first question here.
Do I qualify, Miss? I'm just a parent of Jaden.
Okay, that's fine. You can go ahead.
Okay, question one.
Mm-hmm.
In a movie theater, there are 34 rows of seats and 27 columns. If 249 of the seats are occupied, how many more persons are needed to fill the theater? Which of these would help you arrive at the correct answer? Is it A, 249 plus, in bracket, 34 minus 27, B, 34 plus 27, C, in bracket, 34 times multiplied by 27 minus 249, or D, 249 plus 34 plus 27. Justify why you select the option you selected is corrected.
All right. Thank you, mommy. All right. So we have this question. All right, and it says, in a movie theater, how many rows are there in the movie theater? What did the question say? How many rows? Who's gonna answer for me?
Miss.
Mm-hmm.
34 row, Miss.
All right, good. Well done, Kadira. So 34 rows. And how many columns?
27, Miss.
27 columns. Good. And if 249 of the seats are occupied, so how many seats occupied?
249.
249. Well done, Kadira. All right. And it says if 249 of the seats are occupied, how many more persons are needed to fill the theater? Anyone have any idea what you should do to get your answer? What you would do to get your answer? Okay. Anyone? No? Thinking about it? All right. So let's do a little scenario now. Say for instance, that was the movie theater, right? So this is our little movie theater at our home, right? And how many seats would this movie theater have? Based on your scene, how many seats? Jaden?
6, Miss.
All right, yes, Kadira, would be 6. All right, so 6 seats. All right, and let's look at the rows now. So row, that would be your first row, that would be your second row, and that would be your third row. All right, so rows are the ones going across. All right, let's look at the columns now. So that's one column and two column. So by just looking at this as it is, we can count and say, oh, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats. However, what if it was the case where they just told us it had 3 rows and, well, let's clear that. If it had 3 rows and 2 columns, what could I do to get my answer to be 6 just the same? Using just the number 3 and the number 2. How would I figure out the amount of seeds? Yes? Who's answering? I think I hear the correct answer, man. Go again with that answer.
Multiply, Miss.
Multiply. Well done. All right, so we would multiply. So remember, now we can easily count these and say, oh, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could easily count that and we know it's 6 seeds. But if they just gave us the amount of rows, which is 3, and the amount of columns, which is 2, then we can multiply, and 3 times 2, Andia, 3 times 2, darling?
6.
3 times 2 is 6. So we get the same 6. All right. So now that we know that we can multiply the 3 times the 2 to get the amount of seeds, tell me what I would do with this 34 and that 27, Jaden. What would I do with this 34 and this 27 to get the amount of seeds in the theater?
Multiply, Miss.
I will multiply. So I'm going to multiply my 34 times what number, Jaden?
27.
Times 27. Good. All right. So that I have that first part. Anyone spot the answer as yet? Just by writing down the first part?
C, Miss.
It is C, indeed so, because C is the only one that have 34 times 27. However, if there were more than one options for this question with 34 times 27, then we would need to go a bit further to figure out what next would need to do. The next part of the question says, if, a big if, 249, if 249 of the seats are occupied, how many more persons are needed to fill the theater? So if 34 times 27 tells me the amount of persons that is in the that amount of seats in the theater, and 249 seats are occupied, then what would I need to do to find out how much space is left or how many seats are left to be filled? What would I need to do with that 249? No one?
Miss,
Mm-hmm.
you must multiply. You must minus it from the number you get 34 and 27.
All right. So it minus it from the number that we get, which is 34 times 27. So it minus 249. So our answer would be C. Even though the question did not ask us how many more to give the exact answer, I am going to go ahead and ask you to give me the exact answer. So what I want you all to do now, and I'm going to call on someone specific, so you're not sure who I'm going to call on. So what I want you to do now is to multiply 34 times 27. So go ahead and multiply 34 times 27, and then subtract 249 from it. All right, so I want you to go ahead and do that. So 34 times 27, and then do your subtraction and tell me what answer you'd get. All right, I'm gonna ask someone to give me the answer in 1 minute. Any of my students can do it that fast in 1 minute? Let's see. All right, welcome to all of my students who joined after I started. Happy to have you all joining with us today. All right, today we're doing ability tests, and just a reminder that if you have other friends, you can have them join on a Wednesday at 4 p.m. So every Wednesday, we either do performance tasks or we do ability tests for PEP. And if your friend is in grade 4, they can join. If they're in grade 5, they can join. All right, so you can share with your friends. And if you want to recap what we have covered, you can always go on over to YouTube and watch the video, the recording of the lesson. All right. So, Rashida, did you get your answers yet, Rashida? What about Trini? Oh no, Trini is the parent. All right, sorry. What about Jenny? Jenny, you got your answers yet for this one? Kadira, you got your answers yet?
Yes, miss. It is
What is your answer?
669.
Awesome, 669. All right, well done, Kadira. All right. So we're going to go on to the next question. And these questions are taken exactly from the ability test book. So this would be the first question in your book if you have that book for grade 6, I believe. So you can also use your textbook if you have it. All right. So we're going to go to the next question. All right. So our next question. Jenny, would you like to read for me? Question 2. All right, Azrael, would you like to go ahead and read for me, Azrael?
Yes, miss.
Thank you, darling.
The price of t-shirt depends on whom you purchase them from.
Good. Continue. Merchandise.
Merchandise 1 dozen for 1,860. Merchandise two for 500. Merchandise P 840 for 6. Merchandise Q 5 for 1,000. $1,000.
All right. All right, good. All right, and the last part. Read the last part for me.
From which merchandiser would you get the best deal? Give a clear explanation for your decision.
All right, nice. All right, so well done. Beautiful reading. All right. All right, so we have we're purchasing t-shirts, right? And these t-shirts that we're about to purchase the price depends on who we purchase them from. So for persons who are maybe from community settings, you know that if you go to Auntie Donna shop, you might pay for maybe a soda for $55. But if you go to Maskin shop, you might pay for it maybe $50. So some shop would sell things different, right? So we're going to figure out which of these merchandise would we get the shirt for the cheapest, all right? Or which one is giving us the best deal. All right, so let's look at the first merchandise. So the first merchandise M. So there goes merchandise M shop, nice little shop. So you walk into this shop and that man said to you, okay, one dozen t-shirts is for $1,860. And you're like, wonder if that is a good deal. All right, let me work this out. How am I going to work this out to see if I'm getting a good deal? Oh, I might need to find the cost of one t-shirt. So since I'm going to 4 shops to figure out which one is giving me the best deal, I'm going to need to figure out the cost of one shirt for each shop that I go to. So I am at merchandise M now, and that man tells me that one dozen is for 1,860. What does one dozen mean? What number represents one dozen?
12,
Anyone?
Miss.
12. All right, good. So the number 12 represents one dozen. So they're saying 12 is for 1,860. Now, if I want to figure out the cost for one, what would I do? I want to figure out the cost for one of those t-shirts. What would I do?
Excuse me, miss. I
Darling?
just come in here. Miss, I
Mm-hmm.
just been here. So, miss, I don't really know what you guys are doing.
Doing?
So, miss, can you tell me? Yes,
All
miss.
right, so I'm going to explain again. All right. And thank you for your politeness.
Yes,
You're
miss.
so polite. Excuse me, miss. You're a polite one. Nice of you. All right, so I'm going to explain again for you, darling. So the price of t-shirts depends on whom you purchase them for. So we have 4 merchandise. So you're going around and you're purchasing, well, your intention is to purchase some t-shirt. So say
So,
for
miss, are
instance,
you going to be here with us for a long time
oh
or
no, I
for
won't be here with
today?
you for a long time. All right? All right. So let's continue. All right. So you're purchasing
Go ahead,
t-shirts,
miss.
right? Yes, Kalim? Kalim? Okay, so we're continuing. So we're purchasing t-shirts, right? And we want to figure out which shop will we get the cheapest t-shirt from. So which shop is offering us the best deal? All right. So the first part of our question says merchandise M sells one dozen t-shirts for $1,860. So one dozen t-shirt is for $1,860. So if they're selling one dozen for $1,860, what is the cost for one of those t-shirts? What would I do to figure out the cost for one t-shirt?
Miss Divide.
We would divide. Well done, Jaden. So Jaden says divide. So what am I going to divide, Jaden? Yes, Jaden? What would we divide, Jaden? Anyone else want to tell me what we divide? So yes, we're going to divide, but what are we dividing?
The one church, miss.
So go again, Azrael?
We're gonna divide the cost of the t-shirt, miss.
All right, so the cost of the 12 t-shirt, which is 1,860, and we're going to divide by which number?
12, Miss.
By 12. Well done, Azrael. Well done. Nice. All right, Oshin, go ahead. You have a question? All right. So we divide the 1,860 by 12. So this is just like you go to the shop and you purchase 12 eggs for $120, and you want to figure out the cost for one egg. You would divide the $120 by 12. All right. So now go ahead and work it out for me quickly. 1,860 divided by 12. So we can do our long division. So 1,860 divided by 12. All right. So we're going to divide 12 into 1,860 now. So now we're going to say 12 into 1. How many times was 12 going to 1?
You can't, miss.
Can't. Well done. All right. So now we're going to say 12 into 18. How many times was 12 going to 18?
1 remainder 6, miss.
1 remainder 6. All right. So we say 12 into 18, and we're going to put our 1 right above our 8. So there goes our 1. And then we say 1 times 12, which gives us 12.
Excuse me, miss again, miss. Excuse me.
And then we're
Sorry
going
for
to
the misunderstanding.
subtract. All right. So
Excuse
just Kalim. So if you have a question, Kalim, what I want you to do is to raise your hand, and then I'll take your question. All right.
where
Okay,
should I raise my
darling?
hand?
So there's an
Miss,
option
where
on
should
your
I raise
screen
my
for you to raise your hand. All right, quickly go with your question, darling.
Miss? All right, miss, because I was given problem.
Mm-hmm.
I asked
All right, so we're not hearing Kalim at the moment, so we're going to continue until Kalim is back. All right, so we say 1 times 12, which gives us 12, and we're going to take that 12 away from 18. 18 minus 12?
Mom, 6.
6, good. All right, so we have 6. So now we're going to bring down our next digit, which is 6, and put it there. And now we said 12 into 6. 12 divided into, not 6, 12 divided into 66. 12 divided into 66?
6, miss.
6, awesome. So we put our 6 up there at the top, right? So 12 into 66 is 6. Now we're going to say 6 times 12. What is 6 times 12? So we say 6 times 12. What is 6 times 12? No, let's correction. Oops. 12 into 66 is 5, not 6, but 5. Sorry, my apology. So 12 into 66 is 5. So now we're going to say 5 times 12. All right, so correction, it's not 6, it's 5. All right, so now 5 times 12?
60, miss.
60, awesome. So we say 60. So now we're going to take our 60 from 66. What is 66 minus 60?
6, miss.
Awesome, good job. So the last thing we're going to do is bring down the next digit, which is our 0. So we bring down our 0, and now we're going to say 12 into 60. So bring down our 0, our new number is 60. So now we're going to say 12 divide into 60. Twelve divided into 60. What is that answer?
5.
5. Awesome. All right, so the last thing we say now is 5 times 12. So we say 5 times 12. 5 times 12.
60.
60. All right, good. All right, and 60 from 60 gives us
0, miss.
0. All right, nice. All right, so since we don't have any remainder, what is our answer?
0.
0.
All right, so it's 0. We have 0 remainders, yes. So what is 12 divided into 1,860? What's the answer for that?
155.
155. Well done, Andia. So if we purchase the t-shirts from Merchandise M, we are going to pay $155 for one. So the cost per one is $155 from Merchandise M. All right. Everyone get that explanation? Please take off the solution from the screen. We're going to clear in 30 seconds. So go ahead and rise in 10, 9, 8, 7.
Good evening.
Good evening there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we're going to clear these solutions that we have, and we're going to work it out for the next question. All right. Okay, so for the next question now, for the next part, for Merchandise N, so we just figured out that Merchandise M is selling one t-shirt for $155. So let's look at Merchandise N now. So Merchandise N say, okay, I'm giving you 2 t-shirts for $500. So Merchandise N says they're giving 2 t-shirts for $500. What is the value of one t-shirt? If they're selling me 2 t-shirts for $500, how much is it that I'm really paying for one t-shirt? Asheen, would you like to try?
Miss. 250.
250. All right, so that's Kadira. So Kadira says it's 250. Anyone agree with Kadira? Anyone agree with Kadira? All right, Azrael, what says you? If I tell you that I'm selling you 2 t-shirts for $500, how much do you think you would pay for one, Azrael?
100, miss.
100?
Yes,
All right. So Azrael says 100, Kadira says 250. Anyone else wants to give me their answer? What about you, Jaden? If I tell you that I'm selling 2 t-shirts for $500, right? What does that mean? How much is it that you're paying for one of those t-shirts?
Miss $200.
So Jaden said $200. All right. All right. So let's check our answers so far. So let's look at the smallest one to the highest one. So let's just rewrite them. So we have one person saying 100, one person saying 200, and one person saying 250. If it's that we're paying, if it's that 2 shirts we're purchasing, if it's 100, 100 times 2, what is 100 times 2? $100 bill plus another $100 bill, how much would you get?
200, miss.
200. 200. But the cost is 500. So that means that the cost of that shirt can't be $100. So it's not $100. Let's look at 200 now. So if you purchase 2 shirts, right? then we say 200 times 2. What is 200 times 2?
400.
400. All right, so it's 400. So it's still not 500. All right, so let's look at 250 times 2. 250 times 2. What is 250 times 2?
500.
500. So yes, it is indeed $250 that they would pay for one shirt. But instead of doing all of this trial and run, which is so long and taking so much time, what could I have done to get this easier? Anyone? Anyone have any idea what we could have done to get this easier? To figure out my answer by just doing one calculation?
Divide 2
Multiply it, Miss.
500.
Divide 2 into 500. All right, well done, Oshin. So Oshin said, instead of we going through all of this calculation just to do a trial and error to see what our answer is, if they say that 2 shirts is for 500, we are just going to say 500 divide by 2. And that is going to give us our answer. So we come to our division. And we don't necessarily need to do long division. We could do short division. All right, so we could do a long division or short division. So we say 500 divided by 2. 2 divided into 5.
250. 250, ma'am.
Yes, so it would be 250. All right, so 2 divided into 5. 2 divided into 5.
2 times.
2 times. All right, so 2 times. So now that we get our 2, it's 2 times 2, which gives us
4.
4. Good. So now we're going to take our 4 from 5. 4 from 5 give us
1.
1. Nice. So we carry down our 0 now. So now we have 10. And we're going to say the same 2 here. 2 divided into 10.
5 times.
5 times. And then we're going to say our 5 here. 5 times 2.
10.
Good, good, good. And then we're going to do our subtraction again. 10 minus 10.
0.
0. All right. And the next digit would carry it down just the same, which is a 0. 2 divided into 0.
0.
0. All right. And 0. So we have the last part. 0 times 2. 0 times 2 is just 0. And we do our subtraction and we just get naught. Right. So our answer would be 250. Good job. All right. So our answer is 250. All right. So for merchandise, N, the cost of one t-shirt is for $250. All right. So now merchandise M is selling one t-shirt for $155 and merchandise N is selling one t-shirt for $250. Now let's see what merchandise P is selling a t-shirt for. So we're going to work on merchandise P now. All right. So we're going to go with merchandise P. Merchandise P says, okay, $840 for 6 t-shirts. So merchandise P said $840 for 6 t-shirts. How would I figure out the cost of one t-shirt if I'm going to purchase from merchandise P? What would be the cost of one t-shirt if I'm purchasing from merchandise P? Anyone?
840, Miss.
840 is for the 60 shirts. So merchandise P says 60 shirt is for $840. So now we're trying to figure out if 6 is for 840, what is the cost for one? And we can use the same method that we use for merchandise N. What did we do to figure out the cost of one t-shirt for merchandise N? What did we do with the 500 and the 2?
Divide.
What operation? We divide, and we got 250. So now we have $840 for 60 shirts. And I'm going to do the same operation, which is to divide. What am I going to divide?
6 by 840.
Turn it around.
840 by 6.
So 840 divided by 6. All right, well done. All right. So we're going to do 840 divided by 60. So let's do that calculation now. So we have 840 divided by 6. All right, so since I've shown you 2 examples how to do your long division, I want you to go ahead and do your calculation for this. Say 6 into 8, write down that answer, and then continue with the long division. And I'm taking that answer from Oshin. So Oshin, work that out for me, darling, and give me your answer. So we're dividing 840 by 6. Yes, Colleen, go ahead, darling.
$140.
140. All right, so that's Oshin that just answered. Oshin, you're the one that just gave me the answer? Or, oh, it's Shadane. Shadane? Shadane?
Yes.
Okay, you're the one that gave me the answer just now? All right.
It was Oshin.
Okay, all right, so it is 140. All right, well done. So it's 140 for merchandise P. All right, so one of those t-shirts at merchandise P costs 140. So far, who is selling the cheapest t-shirt? Who's selling the cheapest t-shirt so far? Is it merchandise M, merchandise N, or merchandise P?
Merchandise.
Miss, is it
Merchandise.
Merchandise P, all right? Yes, Colleen, thank you, Colleen, well done. All right, who was giving me the next answer? Did he hear you clearly?
Miss, Miss, what well I was telling you, Miss, the internet is giving problem, Miss. So, Miss, you think that when we guys are when the other kids are finished, can you tell me what you were talking about?
Okay, darling,
If you
I
have
will.
time.
Okay, yes. Okay, Colleen. All right, so we have figured out the cost of one t-shirt if we purchase it from merchandise N, the cost of one t-shirt if we purchase it from merchandise N, and the cost of one t-shirt if we purchase it from merchandise P. Which other merchandise is left? So we had 4 merchandise. We have M, N, P so far. What's the next one? Azrael, what's the next one, darling?
Merchandise crew.
Okay, thank you, darling. Merchandise Q. All right, so with next one is merchandise Q. So for merchandise Q, what did they tell us about merchandise Q? Shadane, would you like to tell me, Shadane?
Yes, miss.
Yes, what did they tell us about merchandise Q?
Miss, can you repeat?
What did they tell us about merchandise Q? What did they say about merchandise Q?
5 is for $1,000.
5 t-shirts is for $1,000. All right. So if 5 t-shirts is for $1,000, so that's merchandise Q now. If 5 t-shirts is for $1,000, how am I going to figure out the cost of 1 t-shirt? What am I
Miss,
going to do? Yes,
divide 5 by 1,000.
turn it the other way around.
1,000 divided by 5.
1,000 divided by 5. Well done. All right, so it's 1,000 divided by 5. And everyone should be able to do this from just thinking about it. All right, you should be able to do this mentally. What is 1,000 divided by 5? 1,000 divided by 5?
200.
200. Thank you, Shadeen. All right, so it is 200. Well done, darling. All right, so these are some questions, some numbers that you need to learn how to do them mentally. All right, you don't necessarily need to write down the division sign to work it out. All right, so we can easily say if we're doing 1,000 divided by 5, we could write it as a fraction and put 1,000 over 5 and say 5 into 5, 1. 5 into 10, 2, 5 into 0, 0, 5 into 0, 0, and our answer is 200. So we can use short division and get our answer real quick. All right? So take your solution off.
Yes, miss.
For that one. So it is 200. So take your solution down, and while you write down your solution, we're going to look at which one is Best Buy. So which of those merchandise is selling the shirt at the best price?
Merchandise crew, miss.
Merchandise Q.
Yes,
All right,
miss.
so somebody says merchandise Q. Anyone else want to tell me which one is the best price? Which one is selling at the best price?
Miss, merchandise P.
So somebody said merchandise P. All right. Anyone agree or disagree with any of those answers?
Yes, miss, merchandise P.
All right, so we get 2 merchandise P. All right, so we get 3 merchandise P. And I do agree with merchandise P. So merchandise P is selling for the best price. However, after writing down that merchandise P is selling for the best price or giving the best deal, the next part of the question says, give a clear explanation for your decision. So anyone can tell me why they say merchandise P? Anyone?
Miss, because it is the cheapest, miss.
Because it's the cheapest. All right. So yes, merchandise P is giving us the best deal. All right, because they're saying $850 for 6 t-shirts. And when we work it out, oh, merchandise P is actually selling us 1 t-shirt for $140. while the others are selling one for 155, another one is selling one for 200, and another one is selling one for 250. So of course, Merchandise P is selling the shirt for the best price. All right, so we are finished with this question. Now let's get to the next question. So remember to write down your explanation. It is Merchandise P, and it's Merchandise P because it's selling it for the cheapest price. Okay? So we're going to go to our next question. All right? For this question, it says, Krista, welcome, Lillian. Lillian, would you like to read for me, darling?
Miss, should we write it down?
Go again.
Should we write it down?
Yes, you can write it down, but would you like to read for me? Oh, it's not Lillian answering. All right, could you read for me?
Yes, Miss.
All right, go ahead, darling.
Sister Dean counted
Mm-hmm.
of 40 legs on
Mm-hmm.
an farm with only cows and ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Possible that she counted that
All right. All right, so would want for you all to keep your microphones muted. All right, unless you're answering a question. And if I ask you a question and your background is a bit too noisy, then you could just tell me that it's a bit noisy. All right, and you're not able to answer at the moment. All right, darlings? All right, so let's go through this question now. Krista Dean counted a total of 40 legs, right? So maybe Krista Dean just looked below the fence, and when she looked, she realized that there are 40 legs, all right? And these legs belong to cows, so it's 40 legs, and they belongs to cows and ducks only. No other animal, just cows and ducks. It is possible that she counted dash ducks and dash cows. For this question, some person's answer can be different than other persons, right? So your answer might be different from than someone else, depending on how you do your solution. All right, so there goes our cow. And how many legs does a cow have?
4 Miss.
4. Good. All right, well done. And there goes our duck. How many legs does a duck have?
4.
2.
Oh,
Miss.
2. All right, good. So the duck have 2 legs. So let's just write that down. So we have here, it is 4, and here it is 2. So now what we can do is a trial and error. So if you can't figure out a calculation, what you can do is say, okay, let me pair a duck and a cow. And let's do some pairing now. So first, I'm going to pair a cow, so that's 4 legs, with a duck. So how many legs so far?
6.
6. All right. So 6. All right, good. So 6 legs so far. All right, and we counted a total of 40 legs, so we need to get to 40. So let's do another pair now. So say, for instance, we have another pair. So we do another cow. How many legs?
8.
8. All right, with another duck. How many in total now? How many in total we have now?
12.
12. All right, good. And we need to get to 40. So let's do another pair now. So we're going to do another cow. So how many legs do we have in total so far now?
14.
Miss
4.
4.
14.
So we have 12 plus 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 4,
16.
16. Say
16, Miss.
all right. So 16. So 16 legs so far, and we add another duck. How many do we have so far now?
18.
18. All right. So that's 6 there, 6 there, 6 there. So we have 18. So let's continue now. We add another cow. How many legs in total now?
22.
22.
Yes, nice. 22. And we add another duck. How many in total now?
24.
24.
All right, 24. So that's another 6. So we have 24. So let's add another cow. Adding
28.
another cow. So we have 28 and another duck.
30.
All right, so we have 30. So let's add another cow. How much?
34.
34. Let's add another duck. How much do we have in total now?
36.
36. All right, so how many more legs do we need to get to 40? How many? 4. All right, good. So that means I can add a cow, and if I add a cow, I would get 40, right? I would get 40 legs. So I could add a cow, which is 4 legs there. Or do I have another option? What if I want to add ducks and not cow? How many ducks would I add?
2.
2. So we would add 2 ducks. All right. And that would give us another 4. So which of them do you want to add? Do you want to add cow or do you want to add ducks?
Call me.
You want to add cow. All right. So since we're adding cow, all right. Thank you, Azrael. All right, thank you, Azrael. You can go ahead and clear now. Thank you, darling. So Azrael say cows as well. All right, so since we're adding cows, can you tell me the total number of legs you would count for the cows?
Miss 4.
7, Miss.
How much?
28.
So I heard 28. 28. Anyone else?
Miss 24.
I hear 24. All right, so it is, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cows. So 4 times 7 would be, is it 28 or 24?
28.
28.
28. Good job. So we have, so since, it says not the amount of legs, but the amount of cows. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it would be 7 cows. So it's not the amount of legs for the cows, but the amount of cows. So 7 cows, and then let's count the amount of ducks now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 ducks. All right. However, if you had chosen ducks and used the 2 ducks, so that is if we use a cow, right? What would it be if we had used the ducks? How many ducks would it be?
8.
All right, so it would have been 8 ducks if we had used the ducks. Oops. So it would have been 8 ducks if we had used the duck. And how many cows would it be? How many cows?
5.
Check again. Go again.
6, Miss.
So it would be 6. All right. So it would be 6 as well. All right, and not 7. All right, thank you. All right, go ahead and clear that other 7 for me. So instead of us writing it out this way, what other way could I do this? Because this is kind of long, and I don't want to be spending so much time on a question. What other way could I have done this? Instead of doing all of this working out, what other way could I have done this? Just using numbers instead of writing out this, even though it's nice drawing these ducks and cows, but that is going to take me too long. What other method could I use to get my answer? So let's just write down the other options for answer. So the other option was that we could have 6 ducks and 7 cows. So that's another option that we have. All right. What other way now could I have gotten either of these answers without drawing out those cows or having those cows and ducks? Anyone? Anyone figure out anything? No? All right, so let's do it together.
No, Miss.
All right, so the cow have 4 legs, right? And the duck have 2 legs, right? So we're going to add both of those together. So we know that, okay, it is 4 plus 2, which gives us
6.
6.
which gives us 6. All right. So since it's, let's write the 6 up here. So since it's 4 plus 2, which gives us 6. Yes, as well. Thank you, darling. So 4 plus 2, which gives us 6. We are going to figure out the closest multiple of 6 to 40. So looking at the multiples of 6 now. So 6, 12. Give me the next multiple of 6.
18.
18. Nice. Next one.
21.
Not 21. Check again for me, darling.
24.
24.
18.
Nice. All right. So 24. Next one.
27.
Remember, we're going up by 6. We're adding 6 each time.
30.
26.
Good. Give me the next one.
36.
36. Give me the other one.
42.
42.
All right, so the other one would be 42. But we're not going up to 42. We're looking for 40 legs. So we're going to look for the one that is closest to 40, but it cannot be more than 40. So we would go up to 42, would stop at 36.
36.
All right. So since we stop at 36 now, let's see how many pairs of cow and duck would have gotten so far. So that's 1 pair. That's 2 pair. So let's use another color. So that's 1 pair, 2 pair, 3, 4, 5, 6 pair. So we know that so far we would have had 6 cows, right? And 6 ducks. So now all we're going to do is to find out how much more cows can I add to this. So we're either going to be adding cows alone or ducks alone. So how much more cows can I add to 36 to get 40? So how much more legs would it take to add to 36 to get 40? How many more legs?
1 cow.
It would be
1
1
cow.
cow. Right, so 4 more legs, which is 1 cow. So if I'm going to add more cows, it would be 1 more cow. So that would have given me my 7, like we have here. All right. Okay, Azrael and Angelina, thank you. All right, thank you both. All right, so it would be 1 more cow. So it's 6 plus 1, which gives us 7. Or, so it would be 6 ducks, 7 cows. Or what we could have done, if we're not adding more cows, say for instance, you want more ducks on your farm. How many more ducks would I need to add to get the additional 4 legs?
2 ducks.
2 ducks. So I would add 2 ducks and that gives me 8. All right. and that's how we'd get 8 ducks and 6 cows. All right. So there goes our answer for this one. So for this one, we can either have we can have 6 ducks, 7 cows, or we can have 8 ducks and 6 cows. We can have other options, but this is the shortest method to get to your answer. All right. So go ahead and
Yes,
take down the
miss.
solution, and if you have your textbook, it should be there in your textbook for your grade 6 textbook. All right. So we are over by 7 minutes. So that brings us to the end of our session for today. So it's ability test that we did today, and we looked at test 1 from the textbook, right? How was the session today, Colleen? All right, Rashida, how was the session for you?
Excuse me,
Jaden?
miss. Can you repeat
Yes,
that,
how was the
miss?
session?
It was good, miss.
I
I
was
learned
going
a
to
lot, miss.
Okay, it
we are
was
going
good.
to have a class session. So
All right, Jaden, how was the class for you, Jaden?
Miss, it was good. Learn a
It
lot.
was good.
Yes,
All
miss.
right, so there goes Jaden. Azrael, how was the class for you, darling? Okay, so there goes Azrael writing. So Azrael said it was nice. Okay, thank you, Azrael. Now you can clear. Thank you, darling. Lillian, how was the class for you, darling?
Miss, it was okay.
It was okay. All right, so I know some of you came late, so you might not get a chance to get the full session. So we'll be here again next week at 4 p.m. So next week, Wednesday. So we're here every Wednesday. And next week, I'm going to continue with ability test so we can finish this ability test. So we continue again. We're looking at the math aspect of the ability test. And then the other week, we'll be doing performance task. All right. And outside of us having this class, we have our general class on a Saturday. So this is a PEP class on a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. But this class now would be a paid session. So this one is just a general session. So anyone can join this. So this link you can share to your friends. You can have your friends join on this link. And then the Saturday class now, if you're interested in the Saturday class, then you can message me after or have mommy or daddy message me, and my contact information is there.
want to join. Miss, I want to join.
All right, so have
Saturday.
mommy or daddy message me, and then you'll be able to join that class. All right, it was a pleasure being here with you all. Nice meeting
Miss,
you. All right, so you're
One
also
left him.
nice and
If you want
polite,
coming, come.
and we look forward to seeing you again
I
next
feel a
week.
picnic. I feel a host.
All right,
Yes, miss.
Hi,
all
miss.
right, have a good evening all. Bye bye.
Mr.
You too, miss.
Remember
Bye.
that I want to talk to you.
miss.
Yes.
What's your telephone number, miss?
Okay, so I'll just write it on screen. I write it on screen so you can contact me via WhatsApp. I'm just gonna write it here. So let's use another contact, another. Okay.
Excuse me, miss.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's 444. So 44755136738. All right, so you can contact me regarding the class on a Saturday. All right. Well, this one, as mentioned before, it's free, and we'll be here doing ability tests and doing performance tasks every Wednesday at 4 p.m. for an hour. We might do a little 10 minutes over the hour, but it's approximately an hour. All right. You're free to go. So when you're finished, you can just log off.
Bye, miss.
Bye as well. Have a good evening, darling.
Bye, miss. Thank you.
Bye, Shadira. Bye, Shadeen.
Bye.
Bye, Michaela. Bye, bye, darlings. Have a good evening.
Bye, Miss.
You too, Miss.
All right, so it's end of the lesson. I know that some persons just joined, and I sincerely apologize for that. But we have come to the end of the lesson. And if you want to watch the recap of the lesson, you can go over to YouTube at Mathematics Resource Center and watch the recap. All right, and you can share with your friends as well the channel and have them like, subscribe, and share. All right, thank you for your support and thank you for joining.
Yes, Miss. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Miss.